The reason we're here today is because of a wonderful man who is a Red Cross volunteer. We'll plug that right away. He volunteers with the Red Cross, volunteers his time. Incredibly talented, world-renowned artist, Mr. Craig Bone. Craig has his own experience being a Wounded Warrior, and I'm sure he'll share with you all that at some point. But he has some understanding of the process of healing that this group of Wounded Warriors and Wounded Marines go through.
Wounded Warrior Battalion, the mission is to provide support for those wounded, ill, and injured Marines, whether combat related or non-combat related, to help them in their recovery efforts and to either return them back to duty or to transition them out, reintegrate them back into society if they med board out. I think Craig Bone, when I first came on deck, was the first name I heard, in that he has contacted the unit a couple times. He was doing a big painting, a Fallujah painting, and one of my first tasks was to follow up with him, even though he's already been talking to some of the staff and working already with some of the staff. But in supporting and providing him some props to get some realistic pictures for his painting, for his big painting, his big project he was doing.
My background, my military background goes back to the 70s, and I was a regular soldier for 3 years. I got wounded in the battlefield there. My forte was in fine art painting, especially portraits. And then I joined the military, and as I say, I got wounded in the battlefield, and then I took up my love of wildlife and being in the outdoors, and I did a lot of commercial artwork, which is fine art painting of wildlife in Africa.
In 2014, when I was in the Wounded Warrior Battalion, Mr. Craig Bone approached the battalion, and he wanted to pursue a art therapy with the Marines in care, and that is where I met Craig Bone. And we started working together. The first thing that we did with him was we posed for a painting of Fallujah.
Normal everyday stuff to everybody out and be like, oh, I never noticed that, or how did he do that? Just those type of things that make other people really interested in art and make him look at it in a different form than just normal colored or normal black and white.
He's saying I stole the picture too.
Drawn out without making a mess of it.
He's saying I told the story.
Look at an image and see that 3D image pop out at you and be like, holy cow, I can't believe that's only paint, or not paint, but like oil paint or black oil paint, and scratching it away. It was like, how is that possible? And really make other artists and other art lovers appreciate art. But what I would really like to do is use these skills to show other people out there that you can do other things, especially other military members like Craig, myself, and some other people out here that have been wounded in action, wounded in the military. It's not just the final, this isn't the final stand. There's more that you can do afterwards with the little skills that you have, that you can learn from somebody, that you can actually make a living, make other people see and understand and back away from the edge.
The guys that posed for this are Marshall from here. They posed for it, and they were extremely happy about it because it's for their brothers. Yeah. So that's what we're going off of. Is we have these pictures of them. We traced out the picture and whatnot, put it on the tracing paper, and we put it on. And that's how it's coming out.
Initially, when we started the mass art painting, when I was about to start a Fallujah work with the Wounded Marines, and I went to Martown twice, and I got really good photographs. I was all set to do it, and then I heard the tragic news of these fine Marines who died in Florida. And so I just said, I discussed it with my painters, and I said, hey, let's do something to commemorate their lives. And it's people dying in training is just as bad as dying in the combat zone. And I said, yeah, let's do something. So then we had 2 weeks which to do it because I had a celebration of life day coming up. And I said, you know, it's going to be a challenge, but let's do this. Let's honor the dead.
Good if you get John painting there. That's so it doesn't look like I've done all the work there.
After we finished the Marsark painting, I came away with the feeling that we had really achieved something great. The painting will be going in a museum, and people will say, well, what's the story here? And I said, those 7 Marines died, you know, in service of their country. And I just had a great sense of achievement.
My work is more the process. It's mental health through art. And people do art, and the process is what is important to me. The result is usually pretty darn good when you see this art show, but it's them allowing themselves to put down with paint or pastels or clay or sculpture something that's meaningful about their work, their injury, kind of processing their injury. People put their heart into it, and at the art show, at the reception, people were blown away with the level of intensity and heart that was put into this work that they've done. And that's the thing that I really feel for. I feel it's a privilege to work and have the opportunity to do this, and for the service members to put their hearts into their work. And I say feel a lot better for it. It's a process.
Joan Farkas has really brought a different style of therapy, you know, to the Wounded Warrior Battalion and the Marines in Care. What she brings to the table, again, is just a different angle of cohesiveness, and a lot of it's healing at the individual level. It's not so much sharing as a collective on one canvas. A lot of it has to do with just painting on an individual canvas piece. But a lot of it's self-healing and expression through art, where it's kind of free-flowing. So that's kind of the level that she's at.
The clay sculpture that I made, it's called Peace at Last, and it was done while I was doing recovery in a hospital, and that was the first time I ever touched clay. I've always told people that the biggest mistake that somebody can do while doing art therapy or any art is to do something and put it in the closet. You know, get it out there, get critique, get some suggestions, let the world see what you're doing. Art is meant to be shared. The Nepal 6 painting has been one of the longest and to this point the biggest painting that we've done. It is so complex and so detailed. We chose to do it because that's one of the main missions, you know, that we do, is helping others. You know, humanitarian effort.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Or did you prefer to sit in the lounge and play games?
Yeah.
Serious? Alright, so wipe it down sometimes. And then I found out, wow, there's been another crash in Nepal. So I said to the team, let's do something for this one as well. So we can always do the Fallujah one, but I just wanted to keep them in the spirit. They're good at painting helicopters and figures and camouflage, everything like that. Let's try something a little different, which is mountain ranges, houses, rubble, which is actually very hard to do, bricks, painting human form in the background there, you know, creating a whole story around it.
Been using stuff from Da Vinci's times.
Getting hold of Rembrandt's family and saying that your painting your 200-year-old painting's cracking in the corner. Okay, so it goes cerulean blue up into ultramarine blue or this blue. Okay, it's not just dark.
Once enough people show up to actually do work, you know, he'll actually get up and leave. But until then, he actually pretends to do something.
So if we had more sky there, I'd introduce this right at the top of this color here. Okay, don't look. I'm not supposed to do this with the white.
I'm down here painting. Oh, you're doing a horrible job. And then he just walks away. Okay.
Mr. One morning, no, we're like, I got you at 3:30.
This is where Craig Bone has done an amazing things. He just tells us, here's the picture, here's what I did yesterday, match the color. He doesn't tell you, he doesn't mix the paint and tell you paint. He gives you a line of colors and you need to figure it out.
Okay, so I mix some cerulean blue and white in here. Believe it or not, this is the color when light hits a leaf.
Oh, I was thinking like, you know, deciduous leaf. Like.
Painting that we're working on right now is Nepal painting. After their earthquake and whatnot, we had 6 Marines go over there to help with aid in it, and tragically they lost their lives helping others. So what we're trying to do now is we're making a memorial for them and their families to show that they were giving aid and helping.
What is being depicted in this painting is the actual type of helicopter, the Huey, that crashed. We've got the co-pilot and pilot, we've got the 2 assistants, and then we've got the combat photographers. All 6 died at the same time. We're away at lunch.
Boo, is that you, man?
Yeah. The biggest thing that I want everybody out there to understand and to know is if we never gave up out there in combat, why give up now? It doesn't matter what MOS you are, how new, how old, how long you've been in the Marine Corps. You know, a Marine is a Marine whether you die in combat, training, humanitarian missions. You know, you died doing your job, you died serving your country. And if one of us can make the difference, it's worth it. At the end, we're all gonna walk in the same place. We're all going to be together. So the main thing about Nepal 6 is we're not going to forget.
With the art being the vehicle of healing, the art is the thing. They can come in, they can talk a little bit, they can talk a lot, but the art is what really tells us and helps them feel better.
The wounded Marines actually contributed to that painting. So they didn't just lie down after they're wounded and just like give up and, you know, take pills and get drunk every night. They said, no, let me get up on my feet again and paint something, do something useful. So let me look forward to getting up every day and achieving something. So they can go with their grandkids and say, see that painting? I helped to work on that painting.